Hey friends, thanks for watching. Today I'm going to be sharing my first experience with laser hair removal. It's a very casual, like chatty, maybe like story time kind of video. And so I was never really interested in laser hair removal, but my best friend Dee does it. And she said that even after her first session, she noticed like her hair growth was thinning like in the armpits, and she noticed a huge difference. And for me, my main concern with hair growth is more my face. I have like a really bad mustache area. I have overall a very hairy face. I just always have, and like or everywhere, like the forehead, the cheeks are very fuzzy, and like that's just something that I don't really prefer to wax that area all the time, because one time I got my eyebrows waxed and my whole my skin got waxed off and it hurt so bad. So like waxing is not something I like to do regularly, especially if the place doesn't do it correctly. And then threading I actually do regularly still for my eyebrows, but as far as like the mustache area and the cheek hairs and also the random forehead hairs that I have like everywhere, I just wanted something a little bit more, not a little bit, a lot, like permanent, a lot more permanent, that wouldn't grow back, like especially the mustache area. And then my best friend Dee told me like the armpits, when she was doing her armpits, it was getting thin. So I was like, let me do this. Like, I'm really interested. I really want to do this. So I remember that Laser Away contacted me back in 2015, and they were offering me complimentary laser hair removal. And at the time, I wasn't really interested. I didn't know anything about it. I wasn't interested. And then my best friend got me interested when she shared her story. So I checked my email and I was like, wait, Laser Away. I wrote back to them and I was like, you know what? I know it's 2016 now, but I'm finally interested. And they replied back. They were awesome about it and everything. So this video is not sponsored by Laser Away, but they are offering me the complimentary laser hair removal sessions. So the first thing that I did before the session was I signed this whole sheet about my health. I filled it all out, and there's a consent form or a waiver. You just sign it. And after that, they ask you to not be on any antibiotics. So if you're on antibiotics, you can't have the session done yet. And then they also told me that I shouldn't be like in the sunbathing, like in direct sunlight for 10 days prior to getting laser hair removal. That wasn't really feasible for me because I just went to Arizona, but I told them and I explained to them like I wasn't out in the sun. We didn't go to theme parks. We were just pretty much inside the house, or sometimes out in the backyard, or most of the time it was inside the house. So I kind of explained and they were like, oh, that's fine. And then they asked me if I took any medications, and the only medications that I'm taking didn't interfere with anything that they were going to do with the laser hair removal. So the night prior to the laser hair removal session, they asked me to shave all the parts that they were gonna laser. So I shaved, like I usually typically pluck, but they said to shave. So I shaved like my mustache and all the little hairs. I have those like mini razors that I use. So I shaved my whole face, and I shaved my armpits because that was also going to get lasered, as well as my full leg. And they recommend to do it 24 hours ahead of time, because if you did it like the hour before, there might be a little bit more irritation than normal. And then I went in to one of the rooms, and the nurse was really sweet. She gave me a robe to put on, and because I wasn't getting a Brazilian, I got to keep my underwear and my bra on, or because I wasn't doing a full body or anything. So I just wore that underneath my robe. But if you are doing a full body, you'd have to be completely naked and underneath the robe. Yeah, so everything was shaved, everything was good to go. I went in with no makeup because I knew they were going to be lasering. But if I did have makeup, they did in their bathroom have face wash, and they also had baby wipes. So if I had any deodorant, lotion, any type of makeup, they would have asked me to remove it. They gave me a baby wipe to like wipe my armpits and also my legs and my arms, because I actually did have I did have lotion, and then I wiped my arms and I'm like, wait, I didn't get my arms lasered. But I do plan to do that now because of my whole experience with the armpit, the face, and the leg. And so after that, there was I believe a physician's assistant who came in, and she had to just ask me a couple questions just to check on my health to see if I was actually eligible to get laser hair removal. And everything was perfectly fine. I'm perfectly healthy. So I got to go ahead and just like lie down and get the laser hair removal procedure done. It took about 45 minutes to an hour for the entire face, the armpits, as well as the body. So I would say more close to an hour or so, but the face was really fast because, you know, it's a pretty small area that they're working with. But what I felt when they started doing the laser hair removal treatment was it was just the light, and the light was hot, and they would just like tap it and continue to tap, and I felt a really cool air with the heat, and I think the air kind of prevents you from feeling the heat from the light. And it kept tapping and tapping, and there was no pain at all. And then they started tapping close to right here, my forehead, where they're, you know, like you could feel the bone. And that's when I felt like a pain that I would consider like maybe a number 3 type of pain. And the pain kind of felt like, I don't know how to describe it, but it kind of felt like a poke or like a little easy snap or something. Like, you know how when you pull hair from tweezing your eyebrows, the pain, it wasn't even that as much as like tweezing. It was like a lot less. I couldn't describe it, but what they described it as was like a little snap or like a little poke. So that's how the pain would feel like. But I didn't feel anything anywhere over here. It was just more in the forehead area. And I was really happy with not having to feel anything. And I mentioned that, you know, I'm almost done breastfeeding, but I'm not completely done yet. I'm weaning my son, so they told me I couldn't use any numbing cream. So if you are not breastfeeding, if you do not have children, you are allowed to use numbing cream that they'll apply to you, and it'll numb any type of pain that you might have. But I couldn't use that because, you know, like any type of medication or numbing cream gets into me, and if I breastfeed my son, he'll get it too. So I couldn't take any numbing cream, you guys. That was kind of, I wish I could have. Yeah, and then I also forgot to mention, if you are pregnant, you can't do laser hair removal, but I'm not pregnant at the moment. And so I was able to do it. So the armpits. Moving on to the armpits. So I went ahead and raised my armpits, and I was like, they offered me a stress ball just in case. But I was like, no, I don't need the stress ball. And the armpits, for some reason, hurt way more. Like I was making like the weirdest faces when they were doing it, and like I felt like the relief was the coolness, like because it's like a hot zap, and then there's like a coolness going on, and I would have to ask for a break. So I'm like, I need a break, and like I had to like breathe really hard. So like the only thing that was painful was like the middle, like especially the middle parts of the armpits. Like, sorry you guys, I'm like right here, the middle parts. And by the way, I didn't shave my armpits for 2 days, and like, I mean, of course you can see a little bit, but it's not so as bad as back in the day. So yeah, but moving like more so to the pain, like I felt like that pain was like a 7. Like I had to breathe. It was painful. I started thinking to myself like, oh my gosh, what did I get myself into? But then after just the middle part, the other surrounding areas didn't even hurt. So I think I was just being super dramatic. But shoot, if I could have taken numbing cream, I bet I would not have felt anything. Because as far as the legs, the nurse, by the way, she is so sweet, so amazing. She made me feel really comfortable, really great conversations while she was like doing all the laser hair removal treatments. She started, I think it's like a chalk type of thing, but she started drawing on my leg lines. And then as she continued to zap and do the little like laser hair removal treatment, she would like do it in the boxes of the lines. I guess that makes sense, because then you know what area that you covered and what area you didn't, right? So I thought that was really interesting, and I ended up after the session I ended up using baby wipes to remove like the chalk lines on my legs, but it did take a little while to get the chalk lines on my leg. The legs I did not feel a dang thing, nothing at all. Like the nurse was actually warning me like, oh, you might feel something around the ankles because a lot of people are very sensitive in the ankle area, and I was like, I don't feel anything, like nothing at all. So that the leg area was amazing because I felt absolutely nothing. It felt like nothing at all. So overall, my experience getting my first laser hair removal treatment was very positive. I was not a fan of the underarm pain, but I heard that the underarms, and also if you do Brazilian, I heard Brazilian and underarms hurt the most, because I heard that that's where you have like the most like thick hair growth. So that is my experience. It's been 2 days now, and I have no type of side effects or anything like that. No pain, nothing lingering or anything like that. No redness at all. I think in the beginning, like when I was leaving, my face was a little red, but that's because my face is like really sensitive. And they recommended, after they gave me an SPF mixed with aloe vera, they mixed it together and I put it on my face, and I wasn't allowed to wear makeup for the entire day. And then they also gave me some aloe vera to put on my legs, and they told me to stay away from the sun and from like extreme sun exposure for, I think, like for a week or so, or even longer. But I'm not like out in the sun all the time, so that, like, you know, that wasn't gonna bother me. But if you like plan to get laser hair removal sessions and then you're gonna go to like on a tropical vacation, that probably wouldn't work out. You'd probably want to work around your schedule where, you know, you're not going to be out in the sun for so long. But overall, my experience was really great. And then when I left, they actually gave me this bag, and they gave me their Laser Away Green Tea Facial Cleanser. And I also wanted to share a couple of things that they mentioned, like pricing. I asked them, so what would the pricing be if I paid? Like, I know that Laser Away gave me this complimentary session, but I wanted to ask them for you guys, like, what is the pricing? And they told me it was around like $600 to $6,000, depending on how many sessions and depending on, you know, how many or how like your hair growth is. Like, I guess the whole pricing situation all depends on the person. Like, it's a person by person pricing. It's not like $20 for this, like $25 for that, like a nail salon, you know, because it's completely different. So pricing is different as well. They were very nice. Everything was super clean. I had a great experience. This is my first session, and I noticed after 2 days, like I shave my armpits every single day, and I haven't shaved my armpits for 2 days on purpose because I wanted to show you the growth. As you guys can see, I'll try and do a close-up for you guys, but as you guys can see with my armpits, the hair, I feel like, I gotta be honest with you guys, I feel like the hair growth is already thinning, because I know my armpits hairs. I know it very well because I've had it forever. And it feels softer and thinner. That's crazy. And you know what's so weird? My best friend Dee told me the same thing. She's like, you're gonna notice your armpits are gonna grow out thinner like right away. And I was like, nah. So I was really excited about that. It's only 2 days, so I feel like my armpits, I already see results. I don't have mustache growth yet, but it takes a lot longer for my facial hair to grow. As far as my legs, I don't have any hair growth yet, but my leg hairs are really fine to begin with. That was something that I just wanted to do, just because it's such a huge part of your body, especially in the summer. You know, you don't have to shave. That would be great. But I did hear from Laser Away, I asked them a bunch of questions before and after, and they told me that it takes about 6 sessions to actually see like really great results. They say their clients usually go in for 6 to 8 sessions to actually see the complete results. So I'll update you guys in, I don't even know how long it'll take, but every session is about 6 weeks in between. So I'll update you guys in months upon months, and I'll let you know how everything is going. But overall, I've had a great experience. I want to thank Laser Away for, you know, this complimentary session, because this was really interesting for me to try, and I look forward to having hairless armpits and mustache and legs, and eventually my arms too, because I have hairy arms. But I would definitely recommend this for anyone who just doesn't want you know, hair growth, especially, like, I guess for me, my main thing would be the armpits and my mustache area. Anything else doesn't really bother me as much, but I would love to permanently get rid of this mustache. But that is it for now. Thank you guys for listening. I love you, friends. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!